Hello everyone, my name is Zarum, and I'm the creator of Cosplay Evolved. I'm here today to show you around the mod, so that you won't get lost or anything. Hopefully this helps some people out. Let's go ahead and get through this in a timely manner, so I don't waste anybody's time. Firstly, when you go ahead and load up the mod, you go in your inventory and your engrams, and you will see at level 1 for 0 points you can learn the Persona Mirror. It costs those resources you see there, but of course you can change those in the game.ini. Instructions on how to do that are on the mod page. After learning the Persona Mirror, you of course can craft it. And it works just like any other structure. Except of course, since this is a mirror, it does require placement on a wall. Well, it helps if I own it. There we go. Right. Once you have placed the mirror, this is where you access everything in the mod. You can go ahead and hit E to customize yourself, and you will see a little representation. If, for whatever reason, you have this problem here, where you see that it is cutting off a part of your character, all you need to do to fix that is change the resolution. For me, it works best at 0.72. Of course, you can make that go higher or lower, depending on how you like that to be, and depending on what works best for you. The lighting here will disallow some ambient lighting, although it doesn't work too well. I do wish that there was a way that I could edit the gamma of the camera that is recording this, but it seems so far that I am unable to. Now that we got the basics out of the way, let's head to the parts. So first, let's go to the heads. All heads work very similar in that when you go ahead and add a head, you might say, oh, well, I don't want that hair. Or maybe you do, but that's up to you. If you don't want the hair, you can simply hit this bottom button here, and it takes you to the main body customization screen. So you can go ahead and hit hide part, and that'll hide the head hair. Click on facial, and you can hide that too. Or, if you want, with the head hair selected, you can change its location, its scale, or whatever you want to make it look good for your specific character. That's hideous. Right. So back to the head. Much like every other part, it has different regions that you can color. So you can play around with that, set your colors, tell your friends what colors you chose if you want to look all the same. That's up to you. Of course, you can always click in these numbers here and type in whatever you want. So I can put 0.88, and of course that'll give me a red value of 0.88. You can also copy and paste to get whatever values you want. Also bear in mind things might look slightly different in-game than they do in this preview screen. See, as that was a blinding white in the preview, it's more of a cyan in here. So, if you want those animal heads, then that's good. However, if you want something like elf ears, but you don't want those human ears, that's what this head is for. As you can see at the top it says no ears, that's the name of the head. So if I enable that, you will see that it removes my ears, which is perfect for things like adding elf ears. Which brings us to the head bits. If I want elf ears, I can... Oh, well, that's actually in the ears section. I can select elf ears there. There's a few different types, so you can just choose what you like. And you can even add a goblin nose if you so choose. Although I'm not a huge fan of either of those, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a lizard. Or a snake. Yeah. Go ahead and make sure and disable any other heads. And let's go to the head bits. One of my favorite head bits is this head fin right here. I think it looks pretty cool, especially if you do something like this. Ooh, yeah. That's pretty neat. You can go ahead and add horns if you want. You can scale it up, rotate it. So I'm not gonna go too into detail because again, I don't want to waste you guys' time. There are eyes here. These eyes are meant for the human character. So if I disable my head once more, and I look at the eyes, I can go ahead and enable one of these. These are basically eye caps, meaning they will override what your eyes look like. For example, these here are just higher quality versions of the default character eyes that allow you to color the outer region. You have quite a few choices here, over 130, so go ahead and, experiment, have fun, and get it looking exactly as you like. We'll move on to the ears. The ears work pretty much the same as any other thing. You just customize it to how you like. Now the torso. Torsos work quite like everything else, except for the wings. The wings in this mod give functionality. Of course, that can be disabled within the INI. So if I go ahead and set my wings, I'm going to make them a nice green. You will see that they function like a glider. Of course, I put my own animations on most of them, so you can fly around. And just ignore this corpse, because, well, we all have bodies in the basement. But yes, the wings do function like a glider. So that's quite fun. Your customizations, by the way, do carry over through death, so if you die and come back, you will still have these customizations. That, I believe, is all the bits for the torso. I can have like a fin on the back, maybe. And let's go to the tails. Tails are nothing special. They're just like everything else. Add it, customize it, have fun. I'm gonna go for the lizard tail. Of course, everything is just not matching, but what can you do? Arms are basically the same as every other part, except of course for claws. There's only one variant of claw right now, but I'm sure there will be more in the future. Claws give you a climbing ability, and of course that is disableable in the INI. So when you have claws, well, if you didn't notice before, in the body customization, there's a claws key. You can set it to whatever you want by clicking and just hitting the key. So I'm going to set it to a thumb mouse button, and I don't want to have to press shift. So it's just thumb mouse button now. Now, whenever you want, you can just hit that hotkey that you set and enable climbing mode. As you can see, these claws are made for climbing. And you can go ahead and climb anything, much like climbing picks. And then you can disable them with the same hotkey. So you can have fun with that. Now then, let's add a little something, just to make him unique. Now, if I go to the legs, there are a few leg replacements. Word of caution though, they are not hidden by armor, so you will have to bear that in mind. You will probably need some sort of mod that will hide your boots if you want to have the armor of boots without the visuals. But still, you can replace your feet. Now then, let's finish up body customization. You have an eye controllable player scale, so you can go ahead and set your scale to 0.5 if you want. And you're smaller, your camera focuses on your smaller character. When smaller or bigger, your jump height will slightly vary, same as your speed, among other small things, mainly just your speed and jump. But it's very slight. You don't really notice it unless you're at the extremes. And of course you can make yourself bigger. And there you go. Bigger. You do not, however, do more damage when you are bigger, so you do the same amount of damage, no matter the size. So let's go ahead and make this guy small. Now then, my newest feature is skin texture. Say you want that skin texture to match these there, or the lizard parts. I'm gonna go with the lizard parts. So I'm gonna select that, and you can see that my skin texture there is working. One thing that you have to note, though, is that you cannot have texture compatibility mode on in the INI. If you do, it will not let you change your skin texture, because of course that the skin texture is changing the texture. So there we go, I've got some scales on. And there we go. Of course it would look better with a lizard head or something, but this is just a quick little tutorial. The final tutorial piece that I need to go over before we are finished is the item template system. This item template system is to save a preset in case you want to hot swap between two different things, or you want to hand around a template so that everyone can look identical. Up to you. First, you need to enter a template name, so I'm going to call this Freak of Nature, and I will create. It throws a template on the ground, which you can then pick up, and there you go. There's a template. So if I go ahead and change a few things, like my scale, I'm gonna go back to skin. Let's get a raptor head with a lure. Let's remove all the horns. Let's put on some antlers. Let's give it a furry belly. Disable any wings. Let's give it a reaper tail. And loads of arms and legs. There we go. That is certainly a creature. Let's say I want to make the body bright red, or like an orange maybe. There we go. Let's say I want to put hair on it. And I want to change my head hair color to orange as well. Cool. Alright. So now that I'm done with that, I will call this the Rap Deer. And there we go. So now I'm a big old Rap Deer. Now, if I want to hot swap between them, all I have to do is hit E and use them in my inventory, much like a consumable item. So if I hit E, I will turn into my Freak of Nature, with scaled skin, wings, claws, all that stuff. Of course, there is a 10-second cooldown, so that someone can't spam it. But, of course, you can go between templates. Other than that, that is just about everything. Of course, make sure to experiment, make cool, unique creatures, and I hope you guys have fun. But anyways, that's it for me. So, see ya.